Good morning. How are you? I hope you have had a pleasant evening or a pleasant morning so far, whenever you happen to be watching this. I'm just getting up this morning. Well, I've been up a little bit, but had a little bad news to try to sort through, so I think that's all settled, but I've had kind of a rough morning so far. So what I need to get myself feeling better is a nice cup of coffee, so let's get the kettle on. And join me if you want to hang around while I chat with you as I make a cup of coffee. So in order to elevate this a little bit and make this a little extra special today, I have decided to get out my handmade Polish pottery mug. I really like this mug, and I don't use it very often. I really like the look of the mug. I think it's kind of pretty, and I like the fact that it is handmade by somebody in Poland, and that it has traveled all the way over here to me, and that's kind of special, I think. Something handmade. And it's a nice heavy mug, so I like that, but because of the shape of it, especially when it's full of coffee, it can be a little heavy and a little awkward to pick up. But I do think coffee tastes better out of a ceramic mug versus anything else. So, because of my hard morning, which is all behind me now, I've got that all figured out, and it's not a big deal, but I didn't know it at the time. But just to ease myself back into having a nice, comfortable day, I decided just to elevate the experience here and use this mug. So I've got some coffee, which I have just ground, and this is my favorite coffee. I'm still working on this bag. This is a Groundwork Ethiopian, my absolute favorite coffee of all time. Happy to have that. And I have ground some off camera because the sound of this grinder is a little bit annoying, I think, to listen to. So I've done that already, and I'm going to use my Hario V60 pour over. So I just need to prepare my paper filter. I have one handy. Oh, it's gotten a little bit crumpled up, but that's okay. We can make this work. So I just prepare this while I'm waiting for my water to boil. And you have probably noticed that I have a fresh haircut. Yesterday I had a big plan, wanted to do a few things, and I had it all planned out, and got over to where I was going to do all that fun, exciting stuff, and I decided I don't want to do that. I want to cut my hair. Once my hair gets a little bit long, it starts to annoy me, and so I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to park here, set up the shower tent that I have, and get my clippers out and cut my hair. And when I got done, I thought, hey, this is the best job I've done yet. But this morning when I woke up, after washing it yesterday and then sleeping on it and then washing it again this morning, I don't think it is quite the best job I've done. Not that it's a bad job. I'm actually very happy with it, but just a little rough around the edges. So maybe I'm going to get better at cutting my own hair. Maybe not. But the important thing is it's much shorter, and I like it better when it's shorter just because it's so much easier to deal with. I'm happy that I took the time and just cut my hair and put off doing that other little thing. That seems to be a theme with me lately. I seem to be putting things off till tomorrow quite often. But sometimes, when it comes to cutting my hair, that's a good thing. Well, in just a couple of minutes here, my water will be boiling, and I can reconvene back with you, and we'll finish making my coffee. Okay, that's a nice rolling boil that I was looking for. We can carry on here. And when I use these paper filters, I like to give them a good rinse. It's not 100% necessary, I don't think, but it's just something I like to do. And the reason I like to do it is it warms up my mug. So whatever mug I'm going to be using, I do like to put just a little bit of warm water in it for just a second to get it warmed up. And I find that with a heavy ceramic mug like this one, because this one is just so big and so heavy, I do really think it's necessary to get a little warm water in it and warm it up a little bit. Otherwise, that cool mug, especially last night, was pretty chilly. I think it was down to 43 degrees last night, so that's chilly to me. 43 Fahrenheit, of course, but that's kind of chilly to me. And this mug, since I had it hanging up here just out in the open, it's fairly chilly, so I think it's a good idea just to get some hot water in it, get it nicely heated up, and that way it doesn't suck all the heat out of my freshly brewed coffee. So probably I'm pushing that a little bit, and I probably should have let that sit a little bit longer, but I don't want my hot water to cool down in my kettle. So I'm going to just do it now, and actually that mug feels pretty good to me. It feels nice and warm already, so we should be okay. You know, one thing that I find is if I'm having a kind of a lousy day, or like this morning, if I've woken up and kind of had a lousy morning, one of the things that always just makes me feel so much better is just taking a few minutes and just concentrating on making a cup of coffee. I don't know why, but I find that just the whole act of making coffee, especially if I can do it in kind of a slow way, just take my time, just kind of improves my mood. And maybe it's because I'm smelling the coffee as I'm grinding it and then brewing it. I really do almost enjoy the whole process of making coffee almost as much as I do drinking it. Now, I said almost. I do really like to drink coffee, but I think as long as I'm not rushed, I do really enjoy this whole process of just the grinding, the boiling of the water, just getting it all set up, and then the actual brewing of the coffee. Just as a pleasurable experience for me. I don't know why. And then just to get back to my haircutting experience here, whenever I kind of disparage myself about the kind of so-so job I did on my hair, people kind of get after me. And, you know, I just try to improve, and that's my only point in saying this is not the best job I've done, but I think I'm improving slightly, and that's all I'm looking for. So I think it's good to kind of push ourselves to improve, just like I try to improve my coffee making, which I am not a barista. I don't know all there is to know about coffee. I just know what I like. Once I get done brewing a cup, I know what I like to drink. It's kind of the same with a haircut. You know, we all like our hair a certain style. And I would not say that this is a style that I like, but this is what I ended up with. And I think over the next couple of days, I will grow to enjoy the style that I have here, mostly just because it's cut short and I don't have to fuss with it. So I'm glad that I pushed myself to start cutting my hair. It took me a long time to just get over the nervousness of just taking the clippers and cutting my hair. I bought the clippers that I use months before I actually decided to use them. Well, I guess I used them on my beard a bit. But the whole point with me buying those hair clippers was to not only keep my beard trim, but to cut my own hair. And then it took me a very long time to get over the nervousness and the fear of making a mistake and doing something wrong. And I think one of the haircuts I did for myself was not so great. I really had to cut it short. I had almost nothing left up there, which is not bad either. I mean, that just means I can wait much longer before I have to tackle the whole haircutting process again. But if you are one of those people that are on the fence about cutting your hair, I would say just do it. Yeah, you can watch some YouTube videos about how to do it properly. I looked for a few, but I didn't find any because most of the haircutting, well, actually all of the haircutting videos I found on YouTube were specifically about cutting straight hair, and I have pretty wavy hair, and so it seems like there's a big difference there. So I didn't watch too many YouTube videos. I just kind of went at it, and like I said, one of those hair cutting jobs I did wasn't the best, but the skill to cut your own hair I think is much better than trying to pay somebody to cut it. I used to pay $50 to $60 for a haircut just because it was somebody that I knew and I liked, and I knew that she did a good job. And she was a really nice person too, and so it was kind of that going on as well. I just kind of felt like if I was going to hire somebody to cut my hair, I might as well go to somebody nice, and just seemed like the right thing to do. That was back when I was living in Southern California, and I think once I got out of that stage, well, I'm a nomad now, so once I got out of the whole I'm going to be in a certain place for a period of time, I knew that it was going to be probably difficult to find somebody new, find a new barber every time I needed a haircut. So that was kind of the final push that I had, just to get myself to cut my own hair. I realize that that may be a different scenario for you, but that was the scenario for me that got me to finally realize I can do this. I can cut my own hair, and I'm sure that I will do a good job eventually. I think my job is done here. My coffee job. Now with this coffee that I'm using, this Groundwork Ethiopian, this one I like so much that I always like to take the first sip or two without any cream or half and half, just because I like it so much. I just want to enjoy it. Let's see if I did a good job. Now I can really only enjoy it if I've done a really good job of brewing it, so let's see how I did. It's a little bit too hot to enjoy at the moment, but wow, it's good. So I'm going to let this sit for just a minute or two and decide what I'm going to do for my day. I'm sure it's going to be a much better day now that I've taken this little relaxing coffee step, and once I get to enjoying my coffee here, I'm sure I'll really be happy with my day. So hopefully you will have a great day as well. And as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.